Good to go. All right. So great to see everybody. And again, happy Monday. My name is Meredith, for those of you who haven't met before. So the class today is going to be a moderate mindful flow. So the way that I usually lead this is it's going to really be accessible to all levels. I'll be offering lots of different variations as we go through. So I really encourage you to find the variation of the pose that feels right for your body. And if none of them are working, then do something else, but do whatever feels good to you in your body, gives you what you need today. We've got our blocks. We're going to be using our bolster probably towards the end. We'll do some more kind of a restorative cool down at the end. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll come to a comfortable seated position. So that can be your traditional Sukhasana with the legs crossed. You can sit on your knees, whatever feels good for you. It often feels good to raise the hips a little bit higher than the knees. So you can always sit up on a block or a blanket, just an option if that works for you. And then we'll take a few moments here just to arrive in the room. So we'll start by finding a nice straight spine. Shoulders are softening away from the ears. And then as you're ready, you can find a soft gaze or close the eyes. And we'll just begin by observing your body in this space here, just becoming aware of any sensations that might be here. Maybe noticing the points of contact between your body and the mat or the block. Maybe noticing the sensation of the air passing over your skin. Maybe there's some warmth or some coolness. You're noticing a little tingling. The fingers or the toes, just kind of taking a quick stock of what's here. Maybe see if you can bring some awareness to your heartbeat. Feeling the sensation of your heart beating in your chest. Just holding our awareness here, just beginning to occupy this space in the room. Bringing ourselves into the present moment. Can begin to bring some notice to the quality of your thoughts this evening. Just kind of noticing what we're coming with. If you're feeling maybe a little distracted, maybe the week's already off to a roller coaster. Maybe we've got a huge to-do list ticking through the head, whatever it might be, just observing it and not judging it. Just noticing our state here this evening. And then finally bringing some awareness to your breath. Maybe extending the next inhale just a little longer. And allowing the next exhale to lengthen. With each successive breath, perhaps slowing and lengthening. Just a little, bringing this softness. Slowing everything down a little. I'll be offering some hands-on adjustments this evening. If that's something that you're not comfortable with, keeping your eyes closed, just go ahead and raise a hand, just so I know and I can honor that. And then bringing our awareness back to the breath. We're going to do a brief little pranayama together here. So go ahead and exhale to begin. And the next inhale, taking through the nose, we're going to inhale for a count of 4. So inhaling through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top of the inhale, 2, 3, 4. And then exhaling through the mouth, 2, 3, 4. Holding the exhale, 2, 3, 4, and we'll repeat that. Inhaling through the nose, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top, 3, 4. Exhaling through the mouth, 4, and holding at the bottom of the exhale, 2, 3, 4. And continuing that with your own breath for one more cycle. Slow, deep inhale. Holding the breath at the top. Slow exhale through the mouth. Hold at the bottom. And then we'll just seal the lips and return to your normal breath rhythm, inhaling, exhaling through the nose. If you like, you can invite a little bit of a constriction to the back of the throat to turn on your audible breath. One more big deep breath here. And then we'll slowly open the eyes and return to the room. With your next inhale, we'll take the arms out wide to the side, spread your fingers out wide, fully energizing through the arms. Arms reach up all the way overhead, hands together to touch. And then we'll exhale, gather the hands at heart center. Beautiful. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale to circle sweep the arms, nice and slow. Maybe your gaze follows your hands this time. And then exhaling, gathering through heart center. Lovely. One more inhale, extend and reach with the arms. This time we'll keep the hands separated. Pause for a moment at the top. And then with our exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. So we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee. Sitting up nice and tall, your right hand comes behind. Holding in the twist for a few breaths. Maybe with each exhale, see if you can soften a little deeper into the twist, maybe looking back over the right shoulder a little here. And then keeping your left hand right where it is on your right knee. With your next inhale, we're going to reach all the way up and over towards the front of the room with the right hand. So taking this big, deep side stretch here. Stay for an inhale. Feel the back of your right rib cage expanding with your breath. Exhaling here to soften. And then inhale to reach that arm all the way back up and over. And then with our next inhale, we'll take both arms up through center, reaching tall, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, take our twist over to the left this time. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Staying here for another breath or two, just allowing the twist to open gradually. Nothing forcing. And then we'll keep the right hand to left knee. This time with an inhale, left arm reaches all the way up and over, reaching for the front corner of the room here. Stay for a big, deep inhale. Exhale, maybe softening a little deeper into the bend. And then inhale, bringing that arm all the way back up and over. One more big inhale, reaching up through center. And then exhale, allow the hands to come down to the mat. If you're sitting up on a block or anything now, you can just slide that off to the side. And then from here, we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So coming onto all fours, you can spread your fingers out wide, really be conscious of pressing through all 10 fingertips. So we're spreading the weight all through the base of the palm here. Your knees are directly beneath your hips. Tops of your feet pressing into the mat and just engaging the core here. Think of tucking your belly button up towards your spine. Your gaze is down between your hands, and if you can feel this sense of length from the crown of the head back to the tailbone. And then with your next inhale, we're going to reach the right arm forward to the front of the room. Thumb pointing up towards the ceiling. And then with the next breath, the left leg extends out back behind. Your left foot is flexed, so your toes are pointing down towards the mat. Stay here for another inhale, really exaggerating the extension from your right middle finger to your left heel. And then with your exhale, we're going to take the elbow to knee. So right elbow comes towards the left knee, rounding up through the spine. And then with your inhale, re-extending long. Exhale, curling everything in through center, feeling the rounding in the back of the shoulders even. And inhale, extending long. One more exhale, curling it in. Inhale to extend. And then holding here, we're going to lower the right hand down. That left foot's going to cross over behind us. So the left foot comes over to the right side of the mat. You can press your toes into the floor and then looking back over the right shoulder. So finding a nice twist here. And then slowly releasing that, coming back through center. We'll come back to our tabletop position. Find your nice neutral spine to begin, core engaged, and then inhale, left arm reaches forward this time. Extend that arm, feel the shoulders soften, shoulders are level, hips are level, and then next inhale, right leg steps all the way back, or reaches back. Pressing through the heel, extending through the fingertips. One more inhale here, and then we'll exhale, drawing left elbow to right knee, curling in. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale to curl. Inhale, extend. Last time, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. And then we'll take the left hand to the mat, stepping the right foot over to the left, looking back over the left shoulder. And then slowly coming back through center, we'll make our way back to tabletop. This time tucking the toes under. With our next inhale, we're going to lift the hips all the way up, pressing back into a downward facing dog. First down dog of the day, so we'll be here for 4 or 5 breaths. Take any movement at all that's calling to you here. You can walk your dog, maybe bending one knee and then the other. Maybe bending one elbow and then the other, introducing a little side to side motion here. And shift your hips from side to side. And really feeling into the length all along the back of the body here. So pressing into your fingertips nice and firmly as you lift your hips up and back. Allowing your shoulders to widen and soften. And maybe just letting the head hang heavy here between your shoulder blades, releasing any tension in the neck. With your next inhale, lifting both heels up high. And then with your exhale, softening both heels back towards the mat. Beautiful. And then with the next inhale, we're going to step the right foot forward all the way up to come between the hands. Left knee comes down to the mat. I'm just taking a moment to arrive in our lunge, first lunge of the day. So again, not forcing anything, just taking a moment here. You can untuck the back left toes. With our next inhale, we're going to reach the arms all the way up, hands together to touch overhead. Think of drawing your belly button towards your spine here. You can stay right where you are. If you like, maybe introduce a little gentle back bend, beginning to trace the fingers back a little, opening across the front of the chest. And then with the exhale, we'll take both hands down to frame the front foot. Plant your left hand. And then with our inhale, we're slowly going to reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Coming into an easy twist. One more big inhale here, reaching long. And then exhale, right hand comes back to the mat. Plant both your hands. We're going to tuck the back left toes and then step the right foot all the way back to meet the left in a high plank. You can always lower the knees to the mat here for a little more support, or keep the knees lifted. Pressing back through both heels. See if you can find this nice long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way back to the heels. As you press your mat away, can you create space between your shoulder blades on your back? One more inhale, and then exhale, bend both elbows, lower yourself all the way down onto your bellies. Untucking the toes, hands beneath the shoulders. And with an inhale, we're going to slowly draw the chest forward and up, coming into a baby cobra. And we don't need to come up more than a few inches. We don't want a lot of weight in the hands. You can even play around a little bit, maybe see how it feels to hover the hands just a millimeter or two. And then exhale, release back down. We're going to take the arms out a little wider this time. We're going to come up onto fingertips. So shoulders draw back away from your ears. And then another inhale, this time putting some weight in the fingertips, maybe coming up a little bit higher, slowly unfolding, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to roll it all the way back down. Your chin comes towards your chest at the end. We'll do one more just like that. Inhale, slowly rolling and lifting. Gaze follows. And exhale, slowly roll it down. Beautiful. And then hands come back beneath the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes under. And then with an inhale, you can press up through tabletop and then hips come all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. This time looking forward between the hands. With an inhale, we'll step the left foot all the way up. Right knee comes down to the mat. And again, taking a moment to arrive in your lunge. We want a nice right angle in that front knee. So just checking that the knee is right above the ankle here. You can untuck the back toes, pressing the top of the back right foot into the mat, and then inhale, both arms sweep up, hands together to touch. Be here for another breath. So keeping the core engaged. Feel that sense of lift in the core, even in the pelvic floor. Fingers are lifting, maybe even drawing a little bit towards the back of the room to find that gentle back bend. And then exhale, both hands come down, frame the front foot. Plant your right hand. This time we'll take our twist to the left. So left fingertips reaching up. Think of opening your armpit up here to the ceiling. So we're drawing that top arm back in space to open the chest. And then exhale, release that hand back down. Beautiful. Tuck your right toes under, left foot steps all the way back. High plank. We'll pause here just for one inhale this time. And then exhale, lower down to your bellies. Untuck the toes. Inhale, pressing up to baby cobra. Option to extend the arms all the way and come all the way up to an upward facing dog if you like. If you're in upward facing dog, maybe press the tops of your feet into the mat. See if you can lift the knees slightly. And then exhale, release all the way back down. Beautiful. Tuck the toes. Inhale to press yourself up. And we'll come up and back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a big inhale through the nose here. Big exhale out through the mouth. Next inhale, float your right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Feel the extension through the back of the hip. And then with an exhale, we'll draw the right knee all the way down the midline towards your nose. Squeeze here for a second. Inhale, re-extend the right leg long back and up. And exhale, the knee comes forward. This time we'll continue all the way. We're going to plant the right foot between the hands. And option to keep the back knee lifted this time if you like. You can always lower it to the mat too. So finding your squat, finding some stability here, really pressing intentionally into both feet, feeling that deep sensation of grounding through the mat. And then as you're ready with an inhale, arms begin to reach forward, coming all the way up. We'll make our way into a crescent lunge. Beautiful. Lovely. And in our crescent lunge, we want both hips in one line. So often this means the left hip comes forward a little. The arms are energized but soft, fingers reaching up. Shoulders are moving down your back away from your ears. So softness in the shoulders. Beautiful. One more inhale here. With our exhale, we're going to slowly plant the left foot flat to the mat. Arms come forward and back. And we'll make our way into warrior two pose. So warrior two, we've got the knee is tracking just with the toes. And your back leg is nice and engaged. So we're pressing into the outer edge of the back left foot. Arms extending in opposite directions. And your gaze can be over the front middle finger here, maybe just staring out into space, staring out into the window. You can play with the depth of the bend in your front knee. Find that point where there's a little bit of heat, a little bit of energy involved, but we're not overdoing it. And then with the next inhale, we're going to reach all the way up and back with the right fingertips. Your left arm can stay on the back thigh, or if you like, you can wrap the left arm all the way around behind your low back. Lovely. Stay for another inhale, reaching up, reaching back. And then with our exhale, we'll slowly bring the upper body forward. We're going to bring the right forearm to the thigh. And then with an inhale, reaching up with the left arm. That arm can be reaching up towards the ceiling. You can bring it bicep alongside your ear, reach for the front of the room too. Another option. Taking the bind as part of your practice and play around with that. For the half bind, that top left arm would wrap all the way around behind the low back, reaching for that front hip crease. Whichever version of the pose we're in, we'll think about rolling the left shoulder back in space, opening the chest to the side of the room. Beautiful. If you're taking the bind, we'll go ahead and unwind now, reach that arm back up. And then with your inhale, we're going to straighten through the front legs. We're going to take the arms to opposite corners of the room. And we're going to bring our heels slightly in towards each other. So the toes are out a little wider than the heel. This is our star pose. So feel your toes and fingers reaching to opposite corners of the room. Big inhale. With your exhale, bring your hands together to touch overhead. We're going to bend deeply into both knees, coming down into a goddess squat. We'll hold here for a few breaths so you can play with the depth of your squat. We want to think about bringing the shoulders back, bringing the back of the head back in space. So the whole spine is stacked in a single column all the way down to your tailbone. You can press the palms in towards each other to energize the shoulders here. And then with your next inhale, straighten through both legs, arms reach up and out back to our star pose. From here, we're going to bring both toes to point towards the front of the room. And then we'll lower back down again into our warrior two. Nice, arriving back in warrior two, holding here for a breath. Inhale, find your reverse warrior one more time. Right fingers reaching up. And then with an exhale, we'll slowly windmill the hands all the way down to frame the front foot. You can tuck the back left toes, right foot steps back to meet your left. We're going to take a vinyasa here. So we'll inhale at the top of the plank. Exhale, bend both elbows to lower down. Inhale, untuck the toes, lifting the chest, baby cobra, or maybe all the way up to upward dog. Exhale to release, tucking the toes, and we'll press back to downward facing dog. So that'll be our vinyasa for today. We'll do that a few more times. You always have the option to modify in any way you like. You can also always skip it and take a few breaths in child's pose, or just meet us in down dog. So I encourage you to make it your own flow here. Inhale, left leg reaches high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee draws towards your nose, squeeze it in. Inhale, re-extend left leg long. And exhale, knee comes forward. We'll plant the left foot between the hands. So arriving in your lunge first. Pressing into both feet, finding some stability here. Option to lift the knee for a little more heat. And then as you're ready with an inhale, arms reach forward, coming all the way up into your crescent lunge. Beautiful. If the back leg is lifted, you can bend the knee a little bit and then see how it feels to press back into the back heel. Should feel some energy in the front of the hip here. So on this side, you want to think about bringing the right hip forward a little, keeping that pelvis nice and aligned. Lovely. Fingers reaching to the sky, shoulders softening down your back. One more big inhale here. And with our exhale, we'll slowly open out to warrior two. So the back right foot comes flat to the mat. Arms reaching away in opposite directions. Shoulders are soft. Arms energized. And imagine you can make your back arm disappear behind the front one if you were looking in a front mirror. Beautiful. Really nice. Soften there, yeah. Lovely. Nice and firm through the back standing leg. Lovely. And then with the next inhale, reaching up, reaching back, finding our reverse warrior. Staying for another inhale here, feeling the rib cage expand with breath. And then exhale, bringing that front arm forward to thigh, making our way into extended side angle. So same options as we had before. The right arm can be reaching up or reaching for the front of the room, or you can take the bind. You want to begin to play with the full bind. That front arm will reach under and through, maybe reaching the backhand at some point here. Beautiful. I'm just going to have you roll this shoulder back just a little bit. Yes, just like that. Beautiful. Really nice. Lovely. If you're taking the bind, we'll go ahead and unwind now. Right fingertips reaching up. Lovely. And then with your next inhale, straighten through the front leg, arms reach for opposite corners of the room, toes turning out, heels turning in, star pose. Big inhale here. And then bringing the hands together overhead, exhale as you sit down into your goddess squat. So you can think about pressing your knees back in space. Open the hips a little there. You feel like you're arching your low back. Maybe try and tuck the pelvis under just slightly. Finding the length all through the low back here. Noticing your breath. If you're holding your breath, obviously release that. Nice, steady, even breaths. And inhale, straighten the legs, arms reaching all the way up back to star pose. Toes come to face the front of the room. And we'll exhale back down into our warrior two. From here, inhale, reverse your warrior. Left fingertips reaching up and back. And exhale to windmill down to the mat. We'll take a little flow here. So any version at all that's calling to you. You can lower down in the plank. Inhaling up into a back bend. Again, yogi's choice. And then we'll release. Press it up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to flow through all this now, one breath to movement, moving a little faster. So inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, right leg extends. And exhale, knee comes forward, stepping it through. From your lunge, inhale to rise up, crescent lunge. And exhale to open to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, coming forward, extended side angle, left fingertips reaching up or reaching forward. Inhale, straighten through that front leg, reach for opposite sides of the room, star pose, toes turn out. Hands together overhead, exhale into your goddess squat. Inhale, lifting up, reaching out. And toes come forward, exhaling into warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, hands come to frame the front foot. Taking a vinyasa here. Maybe stepping back to plank. Lower down. Inhale up, baby cobra or up dog. And then exhale to press it back to down dog. Again, skipping or modifying in any way you like on those. And from down dog, inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose and step the foot through. Runner's lunge. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale over into extended side angle pose. Reaching long with that top arm or taking the bind. Inhale, straighten the front leg, extending everything into your star. Toes turn out. And hands together to touch. Exhale into your goddess squat. Inhale, straighten and reach. Toes to the front and back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, take it down to the mat. Taking any flow here you like. You can always skip and meet us in down dog. Taking any little movement here that's calling to you. Beautiful. And we'll flow through that one more time each side. So from our downward facing dog, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right foot steps through. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, open warrior two. Moving with your own breath here. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend and reach. Inhale, straighten, star pose, toes out. And exhaling into your squat. Inhale, reach. Toes face the front of the room and back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, take it to the mat. Last vinyasa here, if you like, maybe back to plank. You'll be lowering down, back bending, and back to down dog. Last side, inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. And exhale, left foot comes forward, step it through. Inhale, reach and rise. And exhale, slowly opening, back foot flat to the mat. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, coming forward, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten the front leg, rise up, star pose. And exhale into your goddess squat. Inhale, reach and rise. Toes face forward, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, hands to the mat. Last chance for a flow. I know I said last time, but this is really the last one. And we'll all meet back and downward facing dog. A few breaths here to reset. So nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just taking a moment here to check in, noticing any sensations of length, sensations of heat in the body. Maybe your heels are floating a little closer to the mat than when you started. Maybe we feel that length and lift in the spine. Nice. One more breath here. And then looking forward between your hands, we're going to slowly walk the feet all the way up to the front of the mat, coming into a nice deep forward fold. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel. And just let everything hang heavy here. They're full ragdoll. Arms are soft, your neck is soft. Maybe shaking your head a little, yes and no, releasing through the neck. And then while we're down here, we're going to reach for the blocks if you have those handy. We're just going to set the blocks up right below the shoulders. So kind of right in front of the feet here in the highest position. So you're going to be up nice and tall. And then releasing your blocks with an inhale, we're going to slowly roll the spine up, coming all the way up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Head comes up last, and then arms reach all the way up. Hands together to touch, and exhale, take hands down to heart center. One more circle sweep, maybe slight bend in the knees, reaching all the way up. And this time we're going to take the arms out wide. So we're going to do a big swan dive forward all the way down, bringing your hands to the top of your blocks. And then keep your left hand where it is. You're going to bring your right hand to your hip. And then bend deeply into that left knee. And we're slowly going to twist open to the right side of the room. So you should feel a nice stretch on that outer IT band. You can keep your right hand to hip or option to reach it up to the ceiling. A deeper twist there, yogi's choice. One more big inhale in the twist. And then exhale, slowly straightening through the left leg. Bringing your right hand to your block, we'll take it over to the other side. So deep bend into the right knee this time. Left hand to your hip. Finding that twist first. And then maybe reaching the left fingertips all the way up. Imagine you could stack your two shoulders in one line here. Lovely. One more big inhale. And then exhale, slowly softening forward, straightening through the right leg and releasing the blocks one more time, rolling the spine all the way up to standing. Arms reach up, hands to touch. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step the right foot back all the way to the back of the mat, coming into a wide-legged stance facing the right side here. This time we're going to take the toes in towards each other. Heels are out slightly. Inhale, both arms sweep up, hands to touch. Exhale, arms come all the way around behind your low back. We're going to find an interlaced grip here if that's available to you. And then if you have the grip, extending the arms straight back behind you. You can think about drawing your fists away from the low back. Shoulders squeeze towards each other behind the back. Your heart is lifted, your gaze is lifted. And one more big inhale here. And then with an exhale, slowly folding forward, release all the way forward. You can keep the hands clasped where they are, maybe begin to bring them closer to the back of your head. So allowing the arms to fall forward a little, deep stretch through the shoulders. And then releasing that grip, we'll go ahead and let the hands come down to the mat. Lovely. From here, you're going to bring your right hand under your face. And then with an inhale, lifting up with the left arm, we're going to twist open to the front of the room. And exhale, release, replacing your right hand with your left, opening up into your twist to the back of the room. And release, let that go. We're going to bring both hands to the hips this time, pressing firmly into the feet, coming all the way up to standing. Nice. And then stepping up to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms sweep up, reaching tall. And exhale, swan dive forward all the way down. Plant your hands on the mat. We're going to step the feet back to a plank pose. Really nice. Taking an inhale at the top of your plank. And then with our exhale, you're going to drop your left knee. So it's going to come about a foot behind the left wrist. And we're just going to swing it out slightly. So that left foot's coming off the side of the mat. We're making kind of a kickstand here. You see my foot's coming out here. Beautiful. And then we're going to step the right foot back behind. Inhale to reach up with the right fingertips. This is our supported side plank. Lovely. Inhale, reaching up. And then with an exhale, we're going to curl the right arm through and under. So it's almost like a thread the needle movement. Inhale, we reach. And exhale, curl it under. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to curl. Inhale, reach one more time. Option to step your left leg back all the way, coming into a full side plank pose. Just an option there, staying for one more breath. And then lowering the left knee back to the mat as you're ready. Hands come down and we'll come back into our tabletop. From here, step it back to a plank pose. Both feet come back, pressing back through the heels. Big inhale here, pressing the mat away. And then with your exhale, sliding the right knee down and then kickstanding that foot a little here. Left leg steps back. Inhale to reach up into that supported side plank. Beautiful. Finding that full extension here first at the top of the inhale. And then with an exhale, curling the left arm under and through beneath the right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. And exhale, curl. Inhale, reach up one more time. This time, option to step the right leg back all the way, coming into full side plank. Wherever you are, lifting that top hip up towards the ceiling, everything lifting up. And then the right knee comes back to the mat, coming back to our tabletop. Beautiful. From here, we're going to bring the big toes together to touch. Knees come out to the width of the mat. And then just allow your hips to sink all the way back onto your heels, slowly extending the whole upper body forward. You can release your forehead to the mat here. Also, option to bring your head to a block. That gives you some support here. I'll try. Beautiful. Bringing the extension all the way through the fingertips as you're actively pressing your hips back towards the heels. So this is a resting pose, but we can still get a nice deep stretch here too. Feeling that length all the way along the spinal column. Imagine your whole heart can just soften down towards the mat here. One more breath with this exhale. See if there's any tension you're holding on to that you can release. Just letting it all go. And then looking forward, we'll slowly walk the hands back towards ourselves, coming to sit back on the heels. From here, we're going to go ahead and swing the legs around all the way. I'm going to come sideways here just so you guys can see what we're doing. So we'll bring the hips about halfway down the mat. Your feet are flat on the mat in front of you and parallel, hip width apart. You can tuck your fingertips behind your knees. With an inhale, lengthen the spine. Think of lifting your heart up towards the ceiling here as your shoulders melt back. One more big inhale here. And with an exhale, we're slowly going to roll ourselves down all the way onto our backs, one vertebra at a time. Think of pressing your belly button down into the floor as you roll all the way back. And release. Shoulders release to the mat. And then walk your heels in a little bit closer. So your heels are coming in close to the body. Your arms are long alongside the body. Maybe your fingertips are tickling the back of your heels. And then pressing firmly into both feet. With an inhale, we're going to lift the hips all the way up, coming into our bridge pose. So your shoulder blades can move a little closer together here. An option, if you like, you can even find an interlaced grip again behind the low back here. If you have the grip, maybe pressing the knuckles down towards your heels. With each inhale, see if you can lift up another 1/4 inch. You can energetically think about rolling your inner thighs towards each other here. See how that solidifies the legs, grounding through the feet. One more inhale. And then with the exhale, if you have the grip, we'll slowly release that, releasing the shoulders, begin to roll the spine down, upper back, middle back, low back, everything releasing onto your mat. Walk your feet out to the edges of your mat and just allow your knees to fall in towards each other here. So the knees are bent and just falling in towards the middle here. You can stay right where you are if this feels good, or maybe windshield wiper the knees a little from side to side, feeling that rocking sensation in the low back. And the knees come back to center. We'll walk the feet back in, hip width apart. And then pressing firmly into your right foot, we're going to cross the left ankle to come up and over onto the right knee. And this may be enough of a stretch where you are. Want to go a little deeper, you can begin to bring your right thigh in towards the body, maybe reaching around behind the right thigh. If the fingers are interlaced behind the thigh, you can use the strength of your arms to pull the thigh closer to your body here. So this is a supine version of our Kapatanasana or pigeon pose. This is a nice option if the hips and knees tend to bother you in our normal pigeon. You can flex your left foot here to help protect the knee. Maybe even think about using your left elbow to press the knee away, opening through the hip. If you have the grip behind the leg, we'll release that and then slowly releasing the right foot back down onto the mat. And left foot comes down. And we'll take that over to the other side. So pressing into the left foot, right ankle crosses up and over. Starting here, and then as you're ready, beginning to bring the left knee closer to the body. Finding that grip behind the leg. Checking in with the breath, making sure that we're breathing here. Let's just a little. Let's try that. Let's put down. Maybe just like this. Is this a good stretch here? Yeah. So we're looking for a nice opening. That's beautiful. One more breath here, maybe drawing that thigh just a little closer to the body, deepening the stretch. And then exhale, release. Allow both feet to melt back down to the mat. And then extending your right leg long, we'll draw the left knee in close to the shoulder, interlacing the fingers over the left knee. Give it a little squeeze here. And then release, extending the left leg long, right knee comes in this time. Interlacing over that right knee, squeeze it in. And then release. From here, we're just gonna come up and reach for your bolsters at this point. So coming back to a seat for a moment, we're gonna set up with the bolster. Oh, sorry, Calliope. Yeah, you got it. So we're gonna set up with the bolster to be just at the side of the hip. So your knees are stacked on one side, and then the bolster is parallel to your mat. Yeah, like that, with both legs on one side. And then from here, we're going to turn the torso so we're facing over the bolster, and then slowly use your hands to walk yourself forward. You can stay up on your elbows or just release your whole body down. And if your knees, so everybody's knees are over to the left. So perhaps we'll just gaze over to the right. So turning your left cheek to the bolster here. Should feel a nice deep stretch through the low back. Releasing into this twist. We'll stay here for one more deep breath. With your inhale, feel your belly pushing into the bolster. With your exhale, maybe releasing any last bit of tension here. And then pressing into your hands, we'll slowly walk ourselves back up to a seated position. And this time we're gonna switch the knees over onto the opposite side. So bolster is coming up against your right hip now. Yeah. Squaring the torso off to the bolster and then slowly releasing yourself forward here. And looking over to the opposite side here. So just getting a nice stretch through the neck too. Be taking the opportunity to just notice here how this side might feel different. Each sides of our body have a different story, different history. So often one side can be a little stiffer than the other. Acknowledging what's there. And then looking forward, slowly begin to walk ourselves back up to a seated position. From here, we're going to take the bolster and bring it behind us this time. And then coming into our cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. So we're bringing the soles of the feet together. And you can play with the distance between your heels and your body. So find the position that's comfortable to you. Bolster is pressing up against the low back. And then as you're ready, we'll slowly begin to lie back. You can come onto your elbows and then eventually releasing yourself all the way down. This is a supported supine bound angle pose. Your arms are long alongside your body. Feel the front of the chest opening onto the bolster. Feel your knees melting closer to the floor as your hips begin to release here. Noticing your next inhale, nice and slow and deep. And following your next exhale, soft release. Keeping your attention with your breath here. And then as you're ready, you can slowly make your way into Shavasana. Maybe right where you are is feeling good. You want to hang out here. Or maybe you want to extend the legs long. You can move the bolster into any position that feels supportive to you. If you want to reach for another layer, anything you need to make yourself cozy. And arriving in your final Shavasana, or final resting pose. Just doing a quick scan of the body, seeing if you can invite a little more relaxation, starting with your attention in your toes, your feet, your ankles, calves, shins, knees, relaxing your thighs, relaxing the hips, your belly, low back, relaxing the chest, the shoulders, relaxing your upper arms, lower arms, all the way through the fingers. Relaxing your neck, back of the head. Relaxing the muscles of your face. And then just letting go. And gradually begin to notice the sensations in the body. Maybe with your next inhale breath, the sense of drawing some awareness back into the body. If you like, you can wiggle fingers and toes. If it's calling to you, maybe taking another big full body stretch. Wherever you are. Nice and slow, no rush. You can gradually make your way back to a seated position, maybe coming through fetal position, where it may be nice and soft. And as we find ourselves back in a seated position, we'll close the eyes again. You can bring your hands to rest on your knees, maybe palms face up. Shoulders are soft. Take one final moment of gratitude here for yourself, for showing up on your mat, for carving out this time in your day. Finding some gratitude for your amazing body machine for supporting you through this practice and flowing with you. Take a couple more communal breaths tonight to close. So let's all exhale to begin. And then a big deep inhale through the nose. Big soft exhale through the mouth. One more like that, inhaling through the nose, deepest breath yet all the way. Big soft sigh. And open your eyes, we'll draw hands to heart center. And we'll close tonight by saying namaste, which means the light in me sees and honors the light in you all. Namaste. So thank you guys for sharing your energy, sharing your light with me, with each other tonight. And yeah, that was lovely. Again, my name is Meredith. If you guys are interested in staying in touch, I do have a little newsletter where I'll keep track of my schedule and different kind of teaching events and so on. So if you'd like to join, I have a sign-up sheet at the back. Otherwise, feel free to check in with me if you have any questions or comments on anything we did today. And be good to yourselves and have a beautiful evening. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Lovely to see you guys.
Bye.
Have a great evening.